Notion dropped custom agents. And if you are thinking, haven't we already seen agents everywhere? You're not wrong. In our last video, we discussed Notion agents, the personal AI assistant that helps you get more done inside your Notion workspace. But this is something different. Now, that naturally begs the question, what actually makes custom agents different? And most of the videos out there on this update are focusing on the hype, but there's something that we need to ask. Are custom agents actually worth the price? I'm Alex Knowles from automationhelpers.com, and in this video, we're going to be looking at what actually are Notion custom agents, how they work, why this release is getting so much attention, but most importantly, how much are they going to cost? Now, to understand why AI agents matter, you need to understand a key difference. Most AI assistants today are reactive. You prompt them and then they respond. Notion custom agents are different because they run automatically and autonomously. And with access to your external tools, things can happen outside of Notion. All this automatically and without the need of a prompt. And this is what all the hype is about. So, accessing Notion's custom agents. Well, you can access custom agents anywhere that you access AI in your workspace. Here, through the personal agent, which we took a look at, or you'll also find the agents that you've created under here. So if we select to create a new agent, we'll notice that rather than a document that we see with Notion's personal agents, agents within platforms like ChatGPT or Claude, you can actually prompt AI to help you create your agent, your custom agent. Or, of course, you could lean on the templates as we see here. Email assistant, team scheduler, content planner. So let's take a look at using some of these custom agents and actually seeing how they help, how they work before we look at how much they cost. So we're going to take a look at the email assistant. You'll select it from a template and then you'll get agent. We will look at creating our own agent soon, but first let's look at the templates and how this actually works. So once you've created your agent, you'll see it available under agents over here. Of course, you can hide that and you can create a new agent at any time. We can see here that it's currently working through creating our email assistant for us. And on the right is where we find the settings. So we've got the finished setup helping us actually enable this. We need to connect to mail. So if we select that, we'll be taken down here and it'll ask us connect to mail. Now we can see here that Gmail permissions are respected. Notion does not train models on your Gmail data. So if we start that connection, we'll then select our Gmail account and we're all done. We are connected. Sweet. So from here, we're then prompted to select if we want Notion Mail or Gmail. Now, something that I'm surprised to see is because Notion is trying to become an ecosystem of tools, that they aren't just locking custom agents to their own products, Notion Mail, Notion Calendar. So I'm going to select Gmail and we'll hit continue. So let's take a look at these settings. So we connected to our mail account. Now we want to take a look at how we actually set up this custom agent. Starting off with, if you are familiar with automations, what's the first step? The trigger. What actually triggers the automation, or in this case, what triggers the custom agent to begin? So we can run our agent to test, or here we can see that we've got new chat with email assistant, which you can access anytime there. When agent is mentioned, so whenever we mention email assistant in our Notion workspace or a prompt with our personal agent or Notion AI, and here we can see that we've got daily at 9 a.m. So majority of custom agents are built out with, of course, being mentioned, toggled on, we can toggle it off, and a schedule. So we can set that to be anything from every second day, once a week, the time, starting, ending, what time zone we're in. Here we can see the next occurrence is at 9 a.m. PST tomorrow. Now I'm just going to save that as it is because we can also add our own triggers. What do we have available? Well, the external platform that we have is Slack. So when a message is posted, an emoji reaction is added, or an agent mentioned in Slack, the custom agent can be triggered and run. The rest of this is through Notion's ecosystem of tools. Page updates, events in the calendar, new emails in Notion Mail, which you can connect to Gmail. So that's interesting. But we're going to leave it as a daily trigger. As we scroll down, next we have instructions. And this is where we set how the agent should run, what it should do, and the best practices. So if we see here, we've actually got a document on the best practices for creating and managing your custom agents in Notion. I'll be sure to leave that in the description of this video. But let's actually open up the overview. Now, I'm sure you're used to this if you are used to anything agentic AI. We've got an overview, a workflow, and a learning loop. Let's quickly go through this. You are my email assistant. Your job is to manage the email addresses that I have connected to Notion, da da da. Every morning, load all the emails from my email addresses, analyze unread and recent emails, generate a summary table with email address, sender, context, recommendations, reasons for recommendation, base archive suggestions. Why should we get rid of? We also have a routing rule document here that we can edit so that it understands what should be archived and not. Think spam, think past partnerships that are no longer working. Finally, send me a Notion notification to me so I can chat with you on the summary by the side and we can get things done. The learning loops we also have, I'll review the table and confirm actions to be taken via chat. Do not take actions without my confirmation. When I reply with explicit feedback, please consider updating the routing rules. So not only can we have the email assistant help us understand what emails we've received through the conversation that we have with it, it actually updates its quality guide, its routing rules. That's pretty interesting. So at any time, you can actually jump in and edit any of this. Perhaps you don't want to provide confirmation. You can remove that step, or perhaps the workflow looks slightly different for you and you only want your email assistant to bring revenue partnerships up, or possible client leads, or internal communications. Well, you can do that directly. So we're jumping back out of the instructions and continuing to look at the rest of this setup. Tools and access. We quickly looked at adding our mail to this, but we can also use external web access. Now, perhaps we only want the Notion custom agent to take information from our website, automationhelpers.com. That way, when it responds to us, it's taking all that information in. Or perhaps we just wanted to scan the web entirely. We've also got the Notion pages. So for each individual custom agent, we can set what specific pages we want it to reference, or it can view the entire workspace as a whole. And of course, mail. Now we can also connect it to external apps, and there's a lot of power here. Not only is Slack and Google available, but if you take a look, you'll notice that popular CRMs, design tools, and communication tools are all there. So you can give your custom agent much more clarity and understanding of how you work. Now, beyond that, you can also connect to a custom NCP server. Let's say, for instance, you want things to occur automatically in make.com, an automation tool. Well, this is possible. However, we're not going to dive too deep into the how-to on Notion custom agents in this video. We're just giving you an introduction and then looking at the price that you can expect to pay. Beyond connections to your tools, you also have the model that it is currently running off. You can use Notion's AI or rely on a Claude or OpenAI model. I'm going for Claude Sonnet 4.6, but also this is what it was set as the default selection for this custom agent. And below selecting the LLM or AI model is advanced, where you can hone in on the permissions. There'll be plenty of times when the custom agent has access to something but wants confirmation for you. Bypass it here. So again, anytime you want to access custom agents, just do it through your personal agent or along the sidebar here. Let's put in a prompt. Now, I want something, a particular agent that will, let's say whenever we have a meeting and a note is put into a meeting agenda or an action item, I want that custom agent to automatically create a task for it. So I prepared a prompt. When a new page is added to the meeting notes database, follow these steps, read the meeting notes, summary, and transcript on that page, identify all action items, tasks, and next steps in the meeting, da-da-da. Now, I also should be including some rules here just to ensure that it correctly understands what an action item is. So rules: only create tasks for clear action items or next steps. Do not create duplicate tasks. If no tasks are found, leave the page unchanged. So we're going to hit that off, and that is going to start building our majestic steward. As we can see, we've got a new agent here on the left. So let's wait for that to build and then let it come back to us. Okay, here we can see it's come back with some misunderstanding. I don't see any trigger data, for example, the new meeting note page URL. So instead, let's actually state that we are mentioning our meeting tracker database. So again, at any time, you can mention your pages and databases just by using the @ symbol, like on any page in Notion, which I'm sure you're used to. On that page, Meeting Tracker contains an inline database called Meeting Tracker Notion Template. One important detail, I currently configured Majestic Steward to run when a new page is created in Meetings Trackers. Knowles Consulting, the database on your operations, not the embedded Meeting Tracker. If you want the agent to watch the database that lives on Meeting Tracker instead, tell me and I'll switch the trigger. So I'm telling it to switch the trigger. And here we can see that it's updated with Meeting Tracker Notion template. Now, that's because I don't want it to actually go through my meeting trackers in this video, so I'm not using the real one. So we've got the triggers, new agent chat, which agent is mentioned in Notion. Sorry, when agent is mentioned in Notion, we don't have that toggled on. Page added, which is what I asked. The overview, the workflow, and the rules. Here we also have the access. So here we can see that we're actually using the meeting tracker, can edit content, and view of client tracker. So that is going to be the tasks that it creates. Once we're ready, we just hit save and you've created your first custom agent. Let's open up the Majestic Steward and let's actually change that name to Meeting Tracker or Meeting Assistant. Now you can also change the icon. Here we have multiple. Let's go with an umbrella and we'll close this. Now here we can also add images, PDFs, or CSVs anytime that we want to use those, much like we can with Personal Agent. We know that we set the trigger for either when we chat with the meeting assistant or when a new page is added. Now I'm not adding a new page, so I'm just going to show you onboard meeting with Wombat app, run workflow for this. And we're prompting it to run its workflow, to read the meeting agenda, the meeting page, and create tasks from our meeting, onboarding meeting with wombat.app. This same occurrence will happen when we create a new page in the meeting agenda, which is also a custom agentic workflow. Whenever we have a client that comes in as a lead, transfer over to an onboarding phase, a meeting agenda is automatically created using our templatized version. Then when they move to active, another meeting agenda is created. From there, we then manually create meeting agendas for each catch up. But it's good to know that not only are we automating the action items being created, but also that we are asking it to actually create meetings on our behalf. And if we jump back to our client tracker, we notice that we've got Wombat app, which was mentioned, meeting tracker in here. So if we go to our particular tasks, as we scroll down, here we can see that we've got lead generation campaign, review overdue Wombat project. It's actually created tasks on our behalf from the action items in that meeting agenda. But let's now talk about pricing because that's where things get interesting. Notion custom agents are not priced as a flat feature. Instead, they use a credit-based pricing model. That means every time the agent runs, credits are consumed. And these credits depend on the AI model used, the amount of data processed, the frequency of runs, and the length it takes for the AI to respond. If you don't understand that, basically it means you're paying for how long it takes for the AI model to compute and respond, not the feature itself. So if your agent runs occasionally, well, your cost is going to be low. But if you have multiple custom agents set up to run multiple parts of your business, well, you can expect a scary bill to come at the end of the month. For example, if you have 100 leads per day, the agent runs per lead. So that's 100 leads today. And no, that's not 100 credits. It's significantly more depending on the complexity of your agent. And that's the risk because agents run automatically and autonomously in the background. You're no longer manually triggering your AI to work for you. It does it on your behalf. Many users expect $400 plus per month for active usage, especially for workflows that run continuously. Even in testing, here we can see that my simple Slack Q&A assistant used 124 credits. And to be honest, we didn't really do a lot with that assistant. If we look at how Notion has advertised the credit pricing system, we are looking at $10 per 1,000 credits. So if we consider the Slack Q&A assistant that used 124 credits, we're going to burn through that really quickly. And of course, that is on top of the payment that you're already making for your users in your Notion plan. So there's currently no fixed costs for using custom agents in your workspace. But realistically, the more automation you introduce, the more frequently agents run, the more expensive it becomes. And this is a major shift for Notion because in actuality, they're going to penalize their power users, which we thought that that was everything that Notion stand for. However, this is still early days, and we aren't entirely sure the direction that Notion custom agents are going to take. But when we compare it to other platforms, it's definitely on the more expensive end, and it doesn't exactly have all the functionality that we see from competitors. Now, if you want to learn more about AI agents within your business and how to set them up, be sure to check out our playlists on AI in business. But if you are looking for expert help to help you and your business get set up for success and streamline your operations, then don't hesitate to reach out to us at automationhelpers.com, where our team of experts are offering a free 30-minute consultation. So book yours today.